watching Faith World TV. Faith World TV, changing the world with the Word of God.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Welcome. It is Wednesday, 1:30 GMT. Faith World TV with me, Mavis Amankwah, on Business and Community Matters. I'm here every Wednesday to give you insights and also to really show you some special things that are happening in the business and community world. And I also bring on some special guests, and I've got two special guests today. I'm so excited. How did you find last week? Hopefully you managed to catch up if you didn't watch us live and you saw what was happening. So it was really, really, really good to see you all last week, and we're here again this week for another great show. So let's get started. Remember, Community and Business Matters is about helping you with anything that you want to do, whether it's growing your business, your ministry, any projects or initiatives that you want to do or work on, we can help you. If you are looking for funding, community grants, anything that's going to really take your business, your organization, your community, your ministry to another level, then please do get in touch with me. You will see my contact details on the screen throughout the show. So today we're going to be talking about health. It's very important nowadays, and so many of us are going down the route of natural health, using more natural ingredients in terms of on our skin, and also eating, making sure that we're eating more healthy. So I've got two great guests where we're going to be talking about community matters in regards to health. How do we keep healthy? How do we switch? Maybe some of us are eating loads of foods that are not good for us. How do we switch over and transition to more healthy eating and making sure that journey sticks? Because you know what it's like when you're on a diet or you're trying to keep up for a special occasion. You do things for just a short time, but now it's about how do you do this consistently, regularly, and make it part of your everyday life. So happy to introduce my guests here at Faith World TV. And don't forget, you're watching us live, and you can also go onto the website on faithworldtv.com, and you can also catch us on the social media to catch up on if you've missed or you're not watching right now. So my first guest I'd like to introduce to you is Kanya King. Good afternoon to you. How are you? Please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. Yes, I'm Kanya King. I'm the owner of Torchic Naturals, and we do handmade plant-based cosmetics. That's skincare and bath and body care. And one of the things, here's a sample of some of the things we do. Everything you see here has been handmade. Everything here is plant-based, including the preservatives. There is no chemical ingredient in here. Oh. One of the things we do, for example, is this range, which we call Mafura Mystique.
Okay.
That's a body wash. That range has a body scrub and a body butter. It also has a soap, all made with Mafura butter as a name, as a base, which is why we've named it that way.
There we go. So this is what we have.
Mafura
this is what you have. Thank you so much. So this is the body wash Mafura. What is Mafura? Please tell us more.
Okay, Mafura is a body butter that's grown from the Mafura plant, which is found purely in Africa.
Okay.
And one of the things that we do at Torchic Naturals is we've concentrated on plant-based ingredients from the continent of Africa. Due to research, we found out that the most rich in natural vitamins, natural skin replenishing and nourishing properties are found in African plants.
Okay.
So, I mean, the trend is to go back 360 to what our ancestors were doing. Now, everybody knows about shea butter. That's the most common. But there are other butters out there that's becoming more and more popular. Mafura is actually much richer than most of the butters out there. It contains a lot of vitamins for skin replenishing, skin nourishing. It's really at the top of the butters right now, and it's increasingly being used in skincare, hair care, you know, all sorts of things. If you've got very dry skin, it's a very, very good one to use. And if you've also got very oily skin, it's a good one to use because it maintains your skin balance, but at the same time promotes all the repair that your skin cells need.
Okay.
So that's what Mafora does.
Okay, so Mafora is about repairing the skin and making it look good as well from the inside and out. Yeah. And tell us a little reason, or tell us why you literally started this you know, these products. What was the kind of thinking or the innovation behind it?
The thinking behind it was my own personal health journey. I went through a period where I had fibroids, and within about a short space of time, the fibroid cells were growing really fast, and the doctors were concerned it was cancerous. At that time, I was massively overweight, and up till then, I didn't really care about what I was eating. I was just you know, existing, and it got me starting to think about, you know, regular exercise regime, what I eat. I still struggle with that, by the way. So regular exercise regime, what I eat, but also what you put on your skin. And it was about that time that I started having a look at all of the skincare ingredients that are out there and how much in our day-to-day lives we're surrounded by chemical carcinogenic ingredients almost every day. And while we've taken care of what happens on the inside, what we put on our bodies is also just as important.
Right.
And this is why there's a big move towards natural-based skincare. As you have seen, there's quite a lot of it around now. Many companies are doing that. And I'm glad I started this because about 2 years after starting Torchic Naturals, my husband was diagnosed with cancer. Luckily, he's non-terminal, but he started to use all my products because that's the only thing he can use at the moment. So it's something that's very personal to me.
Okay, well done. Well, congratulations. So this journey of, you know, if I use the words, maybe the journey from basically using less chemical products and moving more to the natural kind of skincare, what advice would you give to a family, an individual that wants to work towards going down the natural skincare route? Because it's not easy, you know. We've been using one method for such a long time. So how does one kind of transition? And where do you even start? I mean, I know this body wash, the Mafora, that's really good. But where does one start?
I would say anything that's plant-based is very, very good.
How would you know that?
You have to take a very, very good look at the ingredients. Unfortunately, you do have to do your own research. Because of the way by law we have to list ingredients, we have to list them by their scientific name. But there are sites on Google that you can, I can't remember the ones offhand, that you can actually cross-check every single ingredient there to see whether it's actually chemical or plant-derived, and it will tell you.
Okay, I love that. And in fact, that way you said that you can go and actually look at a name that you're not familiar with and try and get a more detailed breakdown. Okay, so firstly, so you're saying, first of all, do your research. And then secondly, make sure you check the kind of ingredients and it will tell you that it is plant-based and so forth. And then where do you start and how do you start? Do you start on one certain part of your body? Do you do all your body in terms of skincare all at the same time? You know, what's your advice on that?
I'd advise people to start with bath and body care. Because it's your body, the skin on your body is a bit less sensitive than the skin on your face. So if you bought a product from either ourselves or anyone, first thing you want to do is check that you're not allergic to any ingredient. That it's plant-based doesn't mean you can't be allergic. Anyone can develop an allergy to anything at any time, at any age. So check that it is something that you're not allergic to. And it's a simple test. Just put a little bit of something behind your ear. If you get any irritation whatsoever, get rid of that product.
Okay, so there you go. So we start off with the bath and body. And then when do we come onto the facial areas?
With the facial area, and it probably is going to tie in very closely to what our next guest is going to talk about. Skincare really works from the inside out. What we do is take care of what's outside, but what you actually consume is very important. I can tell you, I have milia on my face, and I keep them under control. The days I drink a lot of water and I'm eating healthily, you can hardly see them.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter what I put on there. If I don't take care of it from the inside, all you're doing is just sticking a plaster and stuff. Yeah. So the complete picture is to have something on the inside. Healthy diet, lots of water, lots of plant-based food, and put that on the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it. It's about that transition, being natural, going from chemical products or products with loads of chemicals in it to, natural ingredients. So please tell us a little bit more about some of the stuff that you have here, that you have on display today.
Yes, here's our skincare range, which we call African Dreams.
Okay.
African Dreams, we've got everything in here. It's a complete skincare range. It's got a face wash, it's got day cream, it's got gel cleanser, micellar water, and cleansing balm and cleansing oil.
Okay, and this can be used for any skin type, just to be clear, any skin type.
Any skin type. These ones are baobab and marula based.
Okay. Baobab
and marula based. Yeah. Baobab is very, very rich in vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin A. Okay. Which you can't get those combinations in different products. You usually get them different, but baobab has them naturally. Okay. And marula has very good fatty acids for replenishing the skin. It's very good for anti-aging, actually, marula. So the combination of both works very well together as a complete skincare routine. Okay. And our facial mist is orange blossom base, which is pure vitamin C. Okay. So you've got all the vitamins in this one product.
Okay. And the other one, is that exactly the same, or is that something different as well?
No, it's not the same. This is one of the gift sets that we do. Sorry, it's a bit all over the place. This is our Very Lady. This was actually our very first product, Very Lady Bath and Body Care set. It's a very, very feminine base. That's why we call it Very Lady. It's pink. Nice. It's got rose, lavender, vanilla, all of the nice things. And in this set, we've got a shower oil, rosebud body oil. We've got a bath salts, and we've got a body lotion. And of course, we give you a free flannel and a free solid lotion bar. And this is just purely self-pampering. Again, we've gone with, although this one is not African-based, it's got a lot of shea butter in it as well.
Natural-based products.
Natural-based products.
As well. And if anyone wants to know more about your products and how they can get in contact with you, please, can you share your details? It should be on the screen anyway. Should be coming up on the screen, but please do share.
Okay, you can see the website on www.tallchicknaturals.com. Sorry, we're actually currently repairing the website, so from 1st of May, we should be able to see the website again. Otherwise, we're on Instagram at tallchicknaturals and on Facebook at tallchicknaturals as well. And our email is info@tallchicknaturals.com. Should you need to ask any questions about our products, we're quite happy to answer.
Great, well, thank you so much. Good stuff. It's good to see people doing so much for our community, and again, it's about changing our mindset and looking at ways of how we can have good habits. And it's really important if we want to live longer, we want to stay healthy, and we want to look good inside and out. We need to start within, and then we need to work on our outside as well. So just to remind you all, this is Business and Community Matters with myself, Mavis Amankwah. Today we're talking about health. So our show today is based on community. How can we basically stay more healthy? How can we move from chemical products to using more natural and healthy products? And you've just heard from our guest here that's given us some information. And now let's think about what we put inside us, because that is very important. And also, we've got to think nowadays, we've got this busy lifestyle. We're always trying to rush here, rush there. We're not eating right. We're eating things quickly on the go. We're not sure what we're putting inside of us. And I think, nowadays people are becoming more health conscious just because there's so many different diseases, so many sicknesses out there that we are trying to avoid. We heard our guests earlier on talking about cancer and so forth. How do we work towards, even if somebody is terminally ill, how do we work towards making them feel good and making sure they use the right products and eat the right food? So I'm happy to introduce another serial entrepreneur, and her name is Marsha Osei Wemu. Sorry, I have not said your name correctly, but good afternoon to you. Please introduce yourself to our guests.
My name is Marsha Osawemu, serial entrepreneur. Yep, we own many businesses, but one of the ones that we've recently opened in the last 4 weeks is a vegetarian vegan restaurant in Brixton called Posh Potatoes. It's a new concept that's come to the UK. Those of you that's been around quite a while would recognise Spuds for You. That was quite popular at one point in the UK. It doesn't really exist as much no more, especially in the south. I think they have some branches up in north, a few branches. But it's very similar to that concept, except we don't do any meat. Everything we do is vegetarian and vegan. We do a series of really special sauces that accompany the potatoes. They look amazing, but they taste even better. A lot of people come into the restaurant and they say, "Oh, we want some meat. We want some coronation chicken, or a bit of spaghetti bolognese, please." But we're like, "Well, try it. Come in. We show what we're about. That we build it for them. The first thing they see when they see it is, oh my God, it looks amazing." And then they sit down and then they take one spoon, and before you know it, there's nothing left on the bowl. They've literally eaten the whole potato, including the skin, and everything else included.
You're making me very hungry. Oh gosh, I definitely got to come there. So let's talk about health. Obviously, you've heard what we've been saying so far, and as someone that's opened a restaurant within, addressing some of these areas of health, what made you really start this business, this initiative? We hear a lot of people talking about vegan, vegetarian, how do you even transition? So my first question is, what made you, start it and why? And my second question is, how does one transition from, eating lots of meat, because, we hear too much of one thing's no good, and have the transition of getting more into natural and healthy eating?
How we started, it's very interesting how we started actually. We was on a cruise. And we were speaking to some friends that we met on that cruise, and they mentioned that they have a Jackie Potato restaurant in Germany, and it's really popular. And we're like, a Jackie Potato restaurant, really? And they said, come out and have a look and see what it's about. We went out there and we were fascinated by the fact that it was vegetarian and that it was vegan, and because everything is about the health factor now, what you eat, what you put in your body, we felt it was quite important to be able to at least see what we can look at and bring to the UK. And the whole thing was totally amazing. When I had their first potato there, I couldn't believe how fantastic it tastes. I did not miss meat one bit at all. So we thought that's something new to bring over to the UK, something new to bring into London. Something different. It doesn't exist. We all need to start thinking about our health and what we eat, and it's a good way to be able to bring that to London, to people, to the wider community, to enable them to try something different and to actually recognise that you don't have to have meat in everything.
So this is just potatoes only made in different ways? Please explain.
So they're basically just the basic Jackie potato. Yeah. So we bake them. We don't cook anything. Everything is pre-prepped. So everything is fresh. So our sauces are fresh. We have vegan sauces and we have vegetarian sauces. So our vegan ones are made with soya.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
We also have a range of fresh ingredients, salad ingredients, vegetable ingredients. And we even have pineapple, which goes on our Jamaica. We have one called Jamaica. And we have soya, bulgur, and lentils as well. And we have different variations of the potatoes. So we have a Bombay, which is our most popular one.
What does that consist of?
It consists of soya, chickpeas. We have a tandoori sauce that goes on top of that as well. Some bit of spice, so it has a bit of chili on there as well, and then a little bit of it to calm it down, a bit of kind of like sour cream to calm it down on top.
So all these all these ingredients that you use, they're all health, natural based, am I right?
Yes, they are all natural, healthy ingredients that we use. Any potato that we do, we can make it vegan. So
what do you mean by make it vegan? Sorry, because
there's a difference between vegetarian and vegan.
Okay, please do
So
explain.
vegetarian
just
just basically means that you don't eat no meat.
Yep.
You don't eat fish
Yeah.
or anything like that. If you're vegan, you have nothing associated to it either.
Okay.
So you won't have egg, you won't drink milk, or anything that's associated to an animal. Everything is completely plant-based.
Okay.
So any of our products we can also make vegan as well. So we can accommodate both.
Okay, so you've answered my second question. So in regards to the health factors of, not just what you do, but the health factors of some of the ingredients and stuff that you do, what is it helping to do, or what is it helping to prevent?
I would say it's helping people to generally eat healthy. Yes, potatoes are carbohydrates.
Yeah.
But when they're baked, they are healthy carbohydrates as well. They are low in fat, so they can help you manage a balanced diet as well. Because some of the stuff we have, like the chickpeas, the lentils, it also provides that other balance as well, bringing protein into the diet as well.
Yeah.
So it enables you just to be able to have a balanced meal, and they're quite big as well. So they're not a snack. They're definitely a full meal.
Filling.
They're very filling, and they're basically good. They're basically good for you.
Okay, well, we have to get more healthy. So how do we find out more about your restaurant and where is it based?
So we have a website, which is www.poshpotatoes.co.uk. We're on Instagram, so that'll be at @poshpotatoes. We're on Facebook, @poshpotatoes, @potatoes. I'm struggling to say it myself. We're also on TikToks, which is Poshpotatoes London. And you can definitely come down and see us. And we've been open 4 weeks now. We're at 382 Cold Harbour Lane in Brixton. We've only been open 4 weeks, and we've got over 20 5-star reviews already.
Wow, amazing. Well done. So when you had your opening, how was it? Was it, loads of people just came because they wanted to just have food, or they just came because they want to get healthy?
So generally, people that come, we have a mixture of people that come into the restaurant. So we had our soft opening. So we opened 4 weeks ago. We opened the doors. When you open something new like a restaurant, you have to make sure you open it first before you do anything big, so that you can understand where things are going right, things are going wrong, how can you correct things and learn lessons. We're having our big launch coming up next week. I hope I'm invited. Oh, of course you're invited, Mavis.
Can't wait.
That's coming up next week. We've invited a lot of people along just so that we can showcase what we do and what we're about. And everyone's welcome just to pop down and see us at any time. You won't regret it. Definitely.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. So there you have it. Make sure you check out Posh Potatoes. I'm still trying to, it's a bit of a tongue twister, but I love it because you don't really have to explain what it is. But, as our guests have said today, it's all about being healthy, living healthy, eating healthy, making sure what we put on our skins is natural. And as I said earlier on, there are loads and loads of benefits that you've heard from the ladies today. And I believe over the next few years, we will get into that kind of everyday regime of eating healthy and being conscious about what we put in our mouths. And apart from that, I think, we also need to think about drinking water, which I'd like to literally just ask my guests before we close, drinking water in Kanye, how important is that?
Well, you've probably heard that 60% of your body is water. Your body needs water to survive. Water it's literally your best friend. It does so much for your body, apart from just, obviously quench thirst and everything. Yeah. It feeds your cells, your cells from the inside out. Okay. Water is actually one of the best things you can take.
And we need it for everything, it seems like. So are you a regular water drinker?
I wasn't. I was drinking a lot of Coke, and I still drink way too much coffee, I must admit. But I'll tell you that if you really want to see a difference in your skin and hair very quickly, drink a lot of water.
Okay, so if you want to see a lot of difference in your body and everything, it's about water drinking. And yourself, Marsh?
I'm one of those guilty ones, unfortunately. I don't drink a lot of anything as much as I should. So I try to drink a lot of water, but I can go for a day without drinking much of anything.
But you're working towards it.
But I'm definitely working towards that. I'm trying to get to my 3 litres a day.
Oh, God, that's a lot.
It's a lot of water, but that's what is recommended, that you should drink at least 3 litres a day.
Okay, great. Well, Thank you, Nkonye, and thank you, Marsha. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. You've got loads of tips and advice. The next step is, where do you go from here? It's about taking small steps. So with what you've heard today, try and think about what you can do to make a difference. And it's about doing it at a slow pace over time. So if you want to transition from using, really good natural-based skin products, you've heard it from Nkonye today. If you want to work towards eating more healthy and making sure you're putting the right things inside you, you've heard from Marsha. So it's been a great show. Make sure you join me next week. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen next week, but every week it's exciting. If you want to get in touch with me, my details are on the screen. If you want to come onto the show to talk about your business, your products, please do get in touch. And remember, we are here to help you with any business or community matters. If you're looking for funding, you're looking for finance, you're looking for support, just make sure you tune in here with me, Mavis Amankwah. I'm here every Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. GMT. So I want to say thank you so much for joining. And if you've missed today's show, you've missed so much. And if your friends missed today's show, make sure you tell them to watch. And it has been a pleasure being with you today. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me, and see you next week.
You are watching Faith World TV. Faith World TV, changing the world with the Word of God.